The single-handed backhand is the most beautiful shot in tennis, maybe the most beautiful movement in all of sport. But which racket is the perfect tool to help you achieve this beautiful artistry? Well, today I'm taking you through my top 5. Ben here from PH Tennis to take you through my top 5 rackets for a single-handed backhand, and I feel slightly better placed than Josh and Joe for this because I have a single-handed backhand, which means I can give you my very honest opinion and what exactly these rackets feel like to play with, because there is a difference. It's very, very subtle, but there is a difference. Obviously, every person who has a double-handed backhand and every person with a single-handed backhand can use any racket, but like everything else, certain rackets suit certain players and certain play styles. So from the plethora of rackets you have to choose from, you're going to be absolutely fine with anything. You might completely disagree with this list. That's entirely up to you. That is play style. But there are some characteristics that do tend to suit a single-handed backhand. So before we get into the list, let's just run through them very, very quickly. Usually, you're going to prefer a heavier racket if you have a single-handed backhand. The slight lack of power you get from only having one hand on means you need a little bit more plow-through from your racket. So a slightly heavier, we may be looking over 300 grams, is going to help with that. Often you want that weight to be shifted more towards the handle. This helps with maneuverability, something that again is a little bit harder to do with a single-hander. Usually single-handed backhands have a longer swing, so then you need the ability to manipulate the racket as it's coming through. Very, very fast, maneuverable, adaptable. So usually you want that weight in the handle. If it's all at the head, it gets a bit cumbersome and harder to adjust on the fly. And then usually this is a thin beamed racket. This is to give it a little bit more flex, a little bit more control, and essentially just a nicer feel. A single-handed backhand, like I said, is all about artistry, it's all about poetry, looking good, playing beautiful strokes, and you need that feedback through your hand, and the thinner beams and the comfort frames are going to be ideal for that. As I said, you can use absolutely anything you like. There's loads of people out there who will have a big 100 square inch stiff lightweight racket and be playing absolutely brilliant tennis, I'm sure. This, however, is going to be my top 5, and without further ado, let's get started. Before we get cracking with the top 5, honourable mention, the Pro Staff 97. This is one of the old classics. The racket that endorsed by Roger Federer, not the one he used the RF, which was slightly heavier. Essentially, you can't have a list of rackets that suit single-handed backhands without a Pro Staff in it. I just don't like it very much. The older versions were better in my opinion. I do not like the way this one feels very much. So even though it is very, very well suited to single-handed backhands, we've got the 97 square inch, we've got 315 grams, and we've got a nice juicy open string pattern for loads of spin and power. I just don't like it. So there'll be loads of you out there, there'll be millions of people playing with this racket. It is really, really good. I just don't like it. So it just missed out on making it into my top 5. But if you do want to play like Federer, you can't go wrong with a Pro Staff 97. In at number 5, we have the Radical Pro from Head. 315 gram, 98 square inch, 315 mil balance point, and a 16-19 string pattern, all packed into a very maneuverable, easy to use, rather snazzy orange frame. Not necessarily a single-handed backhand racket, but the combination of the weight with the balance makes this such an easy racket to use. It was one of the most pick-up and playable heavy rackets we've ever tested at PH Tennis, and all of us liked it very much, myself, Josh and Joe. Because of the way it feels really, it's got that Auxetic 2.0 in, it feels really nice, you get great feedback, and it's heavy enough but still forgiving enough to just play really, really nicely. So if you like a bright orange racket and you have a single-handed backhand, Radical Pro, not a bad place to start. Number 5, Head's Radical Pro. In at number 4, we have the Celinko White Out. This is the 305 98 square inch, beautiful, hilariously good fun, single-handed backhand weapon of choice. There's something about this frame that just begs it to be thrown at a tennis ball. Now, there was a racket a few years back, the Technofiber T-Fight XTC it was called, and it reminded me of that in terms of it just wants to have a good time. When you play with this racket, you just want to chuck it around, hit everything really fast, hit everything really hard, and it just suits the single-handed nature of that. Big long swings, taking great big cuts at the ball. It is an absolute riot to play with, especially if you have a single-handed backhand. We've got that slightly smaller head size. It's got plenty of give in the racket. It's got a balance point, which is a little bit more towards the head. It's 320 mil, so it's not a crazy handle heavy. So it's a bit more balanced than a lot of the other rackets that are going to be on this list, but there's something about it, it just seems to really suit. It certainly suits me, and it certainly suits a lot of single-handers, I think, because it's just great fun to play with, and single-handed tennis players seem to have a lot of fun because we're not that interested in defending and shoveling the ball around and all that. We just want to get out there, have nice, big, long, beautiful shots. Here we go, the White Out from Celinko. It'll help you do it. Number 4. At number 3, we have a single-handed classic, the Strike from Babolat. Now, I could have just as easily selected the Wilson Blade in this portion, this at number 3. To me, they are very, very similar rackets, just with slightly different feel. Essentially, we've got an 18-20 string pattern though, and that is important because that gives you a bit more control. The rackets I've done so far have been 16-19, and that open string bed gives you a little bit more spin, a little bit more power, but there's plenty of you out there who will be having such long swings at the ball, such powerful strokes, that you want a bit more control. If you do, you want to go 18-20 for your string pattern. The Strike is a lovely racket, just like the White Out and what's coming next. It is really, really good fun to play with. You get great feedback through the hands, which was a criticism of the old Strikes. This latest version, just a little bit crisper, a little bit softer. They managed to do both at the same time, which is rather clever, and you just feel like you're having a really good connection with the ball. You're getting plenty of power, plenty of spin, even with the 18-20 string pattern. Very, very good work from Babolat. Also, other shots still matter. Great for serving with. There's something about the Strike, it just really does beg you to rip some backhands around. So at number 3, the 18-20 Strike from Babolat. Or Blade. In at number 2, I am continuing my love affair with the Head Speed MP. Now, not necessarily a single-handed backhand racket, but I have a single-handed backhand. I've been playing with the Speed for a number of years now, so it would be remiss to not include it on this list because it's the racket I choose to play with. Or is it? More coming soon. The reason it is not necessarily a single-handers racket is because it is a 100 square inch head. Maybe just gives it a little bit too much wildness at contact. It's still got a thin beam, it's plenty flexible. Like the Radical we saw earlier, it's got the auxetic in it, so you still get great feel. The Pro has got a 98 square inch head. I don't like the string pattern on the Pro though. What I really enjoy about this is that you get such easy power whilst keeping loads of maneuverability. It just suits my game particularly well. Like a lot of the other rackets, if you're not sure about the cosmetics, you can get a black on black version, which looks very, very sharp. But ultimately, if you want an easy racket to use that gives it plenty of fun and does still suit a single-handed backhand, you can't go wrong with a Speed MP. So 300 gram, 100 square inch, 16-19 string pattern, and a 320mm balance. Just a really good all-round racket that you can't go wrong with, no matter how many hands you use in your backhand. In at number 1, the Pette 97H. H? Not sure. Pretty sure it stands for heavy. 330 grams this 97 is. We've got a 16-19 string pattern in there and a balance point of 310 mil. Combined, this creates an absolute monster of a tennis racket. That weight is so easy to maneuver because of the balance point being towards the handle. The string pattern being so open, this racket allows you to absolutely annihilate a tennis ball if you can get it going. I've been spending a bit of time in the gym, getting a little bit stronger, and I'm starting to feel like my speed hasn't quite got enough oomph in it, not enough power in it, and I've been testing out the Pette. I've been playing with it more and more and more. Every time I use this racket, I like it a little bit more, and it just really suits that single-hander. This was the racket of choice for Stan Wawrinka, the biggest single-handed backhand I can remember in terms of just pure ball crushing power. So if that's how you want to approach it, if you want something that's going to just, once you get it going, almost like a runway train, just going to absolutely leather the ball, you can't go wrong with a Pette 97H. The weight could put some people off, but like I said, the fact that it's so balanced, it's remarkably maneuverable. Like the Radical Pro back in at number 5, you've got, it's like you're almost a surprise. When you pick the racket up, you go, oh, this feels really, really heavy. Then you start playing with it, you go, oh, maybe I'm much, much stronger, or maybe it's just very cleverly designed and it just cuts through the air. It allows you to play plenty of little flicks and touches, but also when you do get it ramped up, absolutely crush the ball. So you cannot go wrong with a Pette 97H, and it is at number 1 because it is very, very likely to be my racket of choice very soon. So there you have it, my top 5 rackets for single-handed backhands. Feel free to disagree, I'm sure lots of you will, but just remember this is the ones I like playing with. And throughout the course of this video, I've just noticed something. This is the racket I learnt with about 20 years ago now, maybe a little bit more. This is the racket I'm testing at the moment and having loads of fun with. This was the first racket I was given when we became sponsored coaches from Babolat, and this is the racket that I've been playing with most recently, and this is the racket I'm thinking about. So you can literally see my journey behind me. Don't forget that Pro Staff. Don't forget any other small head, and don't forget any other racket which has got a small head, maybe a bit of extra weight, balance in the handle. I'm talking Gravities, T-Fights, Prestiges, V-Core 95s. The list is endless. As usual, get out on court, pick up some rackets, use them all, find the one you like. If it feels good and you play well, it is the right racket for you. For me, it is this Pette 97H, and you will see me soon, hopefully at Wimbledon, destroying some no, just stop. For me, it is this Pette 97H. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you never miss a thing from PH Tennis.